Hey guys, it's your boy Fat Gamer 919. I'm back with another video, and it's really strange to say that because I haven't done a stream or a video in at least 9 months. I know for a fact with live streaming, I haven't done a live stream in about a year and a half, but I'm making another video, and I know some of you guys actually do want content because I am reading my YouTube comments every now and then, and I do see loads of people that I do remember back from my live streams actually begging for more content. So I guess this is more content. I don't know if I'll keep, consistent, but if I do, I do. If I don't, I will try to upload every now and then. This is a video about my experience in the Isle of Wight festival. It was a 4-day long festival, and of course I was camping as well. And I'll tell you one thing, the festival was great, but the camping, that is an experience to say the least. But obviously, I'll go into more detail about the festival and the camping because everything that I saw and experienced is just unique, something that you wouldn't really experience unless you go to this type of environment. And if you were to go to it, I recommend you to watch this video so you're prepared. So I'm going to talk about what you guys primarily came to watch this video for. It's about the festival. So the festival usually started between 3:30 p.m. to about 4:30 p.m. and it ended around 12:30. That's when all the the music stopped. I wasn't too sure about the little venues because me and my group and my girlfriend we mostly went to the main stage, the river stage, and the big top because I've noticed Isle of Wight Festival only really promoted the big names instead of the little names, and I would have preferred if there was an actual page of saying every single person who's coming in, because sometimes I do like to check out some smaller music, but as there was no page for it, there was only a page for all the headliners. That's who we went to see. One thing you guys have to look out for is actually when you're in the crowd and in the festival, there is so much of violence. I've never seen so much violence in my life. We were there for 4 days, and every single day we were there, every single crowd we went into, we saw violence. It was that bad. I've never seen so much violence. I mean, the guards, they could do as much as they could, but with literally tens of thousands of people, they can't do much. So we went to go see Shaggy one time, the guy that made Mr. Bombastic, I'll Take a Tang Fastic. We saw 2 arguments and 2 fights, basically, within half an hour, and this was before Shaggy started. So we were in the big top. The big top holds, I'm pretty sure the big top holds about 40 to 50,000 people. So if we saw 2 arguments and 2 fights right next to us, I have no idea how many actual fights there were inside that big top that night. Because everyone's violent. I don't know why, but everyone's just violent. So there was this one time, this lady walked past this other lady, but they were both drunk. And obviously they were with a group of people. And one, the lady that got walked past decided to get really angry, and to be honest, I was watching it really. She didn't get pushed or barged. We're shoulder to shoulder to people. You're gonna contact someone if you walk past them. So obviously she got angry and started recording her face. Not her face, but the other lady's face. So what did the other lady do? Started recording back. So the most Karen thing that they could do was recording each other, until one of the ladies decided to chuck the other lady's phone across the big top. And bear in mind, there's 40 to 50,000 people in there. She's not getting her phone back. That phone is gone. It's like a black hole. Gone. So obviously they're having a bit of a scuffle from that. So once her phone got chucked, she started pushing the other lady. They weren't really punching each other, they were just pushing really, until a guard got in and decided to drag the wrong group out. The lady who had her phone chucked off her, she got walked out. However, 10 minutes later, she came back in with the guard, and the other group got walked out because I'm assuming they spoke to the guard and said what actually happened. About 20 minutes later, another group came down, and they weren't really arguing to the same group, they were just arguing with everyone. I don't know why I'm calling her a group. She was that fat, she actually identifies as a group. Sorry, I have to mention this because this actually involves me as well. And I didn't do anything wrong here, I was a victim. So she was heavy. She was 4 minibuses heavy. She was humongous. So obviously she was high off her head on coke. I'm assuming it was coke. She could have been on something else really. But she was pushing everyone, and obviously a big lady like that pushing people, that's gonna have some force. So she was pushing loads of people around us, And then she started walking towards us. And my group, we were literally resting right next to a pillar because as there were so many people, if one of us felt faint or we felt too hot, we could rest against it. So we were resting there and we were just watching this fat lady. I had to put so much emphasis on that F because she's fat, humongous. Started coming over to us, obviously pushing people. But people realised what she was doing, so they kind of gave like a step back from her, so like no one could go near her. So she started pushing me and my group. And we were saying to her, can you like stop? Obviously, she's high off her head. She was saying, no, people behind me are pushing her. But literally, no one was pushing her. And even groups around us were literally trying to get her away from us because obviously most of our group was girls. There was a few of us guys, but most of our group was girls. So like, obviously don't want to scare them, whatever. So most of these people were trying to like get her off us. Then she tripped up. She fell on me. This humongous lady fell on me. I was stuck between a pillar. I could not move. So I was just standing there. It's like, can you get off me? She's like, someone's pushing me. No one's pushing her. She fell over. I was just stuck there between her, a pillar, and then me. I could not. I just didn't want to be in that situation. And this has all happened before Shaggy even got on the stage. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. And then out of nowhere, I don't know where this lady came from. This lady just came out of nowhere, basically. She was like an NPC, just spawned into the, to the crowd. Decided to chokehold this lady and push her down to the floor. So me and my group, we're just standing there like, what the fuck just happened? Because we're just like, this literally just happened within 20 minutes. Like, so many people are arguing and so much violence. So that lady went on the floor. Loads of doormen. Well, I don't really know what to call them. Doormen, guards. So many just rushed in and like got them all out. We were just there like, well, that was interesting. And then not much actually happened after that because there was a group of like ladies next to us and she was looking after like the girls of our group. So we're all fine. So we watched Shaggy, great show, Mr. Bombastic, absolutely loved it. Before I talk about camping, I feel like this is quite important to know if you're planning to go to Isle of Wight Festival in the future. It's basically save up a lot of money because my girlfriend paid for her own ticket and altogether our tickets were £300 and for the 4 days we were there we spent just about £400 between us. It was so expensive and we could have easily gone over £400, but the thing is we had to budget how much we were spending. It was that expensive, so we were spending about £120 a day. This is because of how expensive everything is, and you can't go anywhere else to get what you need. So there is a co-op in Isle of Wight Festival, but the queue was so long to get inside there. There was no point, because it was like a 2-hour queue to go inside like a mini co-op. There was no point, really. We did actually go in there once, and most of everything was actually gone. But the food trucks, the fair rides, everything was extortionate. So for 2 people, a 5-minute fair ride cost £16. That's actually crazy. You know what? I've actually got a story about a fair ride. So the first night we were there, me and my girlfriend, Inez, we were queuing up to go on a fair ride. Spent £16. Soon as I spent the money, some guy who was on the fair ride decided to be sick. And guess who it landed on? Me. Literally, the first night we were there, I was sick on. So that was great. So I decided not to go on that fair ride, gave the token to someone else. But yeah, £16 for 2 people on a fair ride, and an average meal, the average meal for 2 people, I would say it was between £25 to £30, and obviously you eat 3 meals a day. That's expensive. So honestly, I would say if you're gonna go to Isle of Wight Festival, save at least £600 to £700. We bought our own drinks. If we had to buy our own drinks, that would be an extra £300 on top of the £400 we spent. Altogether, Isle of Wight Festival was about £700. It's rather expensive. When you're camping, you really do need to find a really safe and secure space. This is mainly because Isle of Wight Festival is actually rather well known for stealing and, getting personal belongings stolen in tents. So what me and my girlfriend did, Anais, we had a bum bag and we put all our valuables in it. We put our wallets, we put our phones, and we put our portable chargers in there, because I mean, there was stools for portable charging, but if someone saw a portable charger, they would take it because it was expensive. Yeah, so what we did is what I suggest you guys to do too, is go for the furthest away campsite and go the furthest away from the pathway, because the closer you are to the main festival area and the closer you are to the pathway, is a higher chance that you have on getting your stuff stolen. It's because people who are walking past, they're drunk, or maybe they just want to steal, but they don't really want to go too far in. They want to steal from someone that's quite easy to steal. They will go someone close by. So that's what we did, and we suggest you to do it too. And if you're going with a group, keep your tents together. Not just is it a security thing, it gives a sense of like friendliness, because you can be next to people that you don't want to be next to. Because on our left we had our group of friends, but on our right there was a group of ketamine junkies, and we saw them fall over a tent and completely crush a tent. So yeah, if you want to be safe as well, keep your group of friends around you. You'll be perfectly fine. Hygiene is also another factor for when it comes to camping, because the portaloos aren't exactly the most hygienic thing in the world. I did notice they do get cleaned 3 times a day, once in the morning, once in the afternoon, and once at night time. There was a truck that came through. I'm assuming it was full of chlorine actually, and they just sprayed it down and cleared out the shit. But that's one, like, I've noticed, once you see them cleaning it, that's the best time to go in those toilets, because when it's not then, it is disgusting. I mean, the amount of disgusting. I actually don't want to think about those portaloos ever again. And there were hand sanitizer there, but I didn't quite trust that hand sanitizer, so I used that hand sanitizer and I used my own hand sanitizer. It's you want to make sure you're nice and hygienic, because so many germs can spread in those portaloos, and me being like a germaphobe, you just don't really want to risk it. And when it comes to raining and temperature, make sure you got the appropriate stuff, because me and Anais, we did not have the most appropriate equipment for the rain and cold weather. For the first 2 days we were at Isle of Wight Festival, it was scorching, and in the last 2 days it was so cold we had to go to one of the stores, which are overpriced, keep in mind, and buy hoodies. I mean, to be honest, the hoodies weren't actually that bad in price, but we had to spend even more money to get that sort of stuff, and we had to get a rain cover for our tent, which blew away. We found it eventually, but we found it in a place where everyone goes for a piss, so we decided to not pick that up and put it back on our tent. But when you're going, make sure you're well equipped, and we bought too much stuff for 2 people. It took us absolutely ages to get to where we actually end up camping for a 5-minute walk. Like, when we don't have our stuff with us and we're walking to and from the festival, it was about a 5-10 minute walk. But when we had all of our equipment on us, it was about an hour. It was so long. Like, it's because it was so heavy and everything. We had to like share what we're holding. So yeah, be well equipped, and I'm hoping this video gave you a bit more of exposure of like what it's actually like. I didn't actually say as much as I could have for the festivals. I will mention that when we went to see Lewis Capaldi, there was so many people that we saw faint. That was because it was in the middle of the night, and obviously people were pissed out of their minds. So when you're going to the festival, get yourself a bottle of water, because obviously unless you want to go for a 40-minute walk back to one of the stalls, or walk through people, which takes absolutely ages, and you feel like you're going to faint, that bottle of water is going to help you so much. Because, I mean, Lewis Capaldi, if you were watching it live on Sky Arts, he actually stopped singing to help someone because someone fainted off someone's shoulders. It was that bad. I haven't done a video in a very long time, so I feel like this was quite unprofessional. Yeah, so that's all I got to really say. If you want another video, just comment down below, like the video, and subscribe, and also follow my new Instagram page. It's called Bruh Meme Soundboard. I'll put the link in the description. I just highly suggest you to do it, because that's what I've been posting daily. A few of you guys have actually managed to find my Instagram account, so some of you guys do manage to keep up to date with it, with everything I'm doing. because that is where I upload the most. And if you want to see more, and if you want to get a little bit of hints of if I'm going to make a new YouTube video, that's the place to go. And it's just a really cool Instagram page. Like, who wouldn't follow a